All right, welcome to the 26th episode of the Boomers podcast. We have another guest episode, and today I'm with...
YG, Yasmin. My name is Yasmin. I am Persian, and I'm 22 years old, in third year university.
Which program?
Computer science. I can get into the whole education part because it's a little bit complicated. But yeah, hello Bloomers audience.
Yeah. So Yasmin has been a big fan since like the very beginning. I remember literally like the day after I made my first video, you sent me like this big paragraph, and I'm like, dude, like that's when I knew like that you're like a real friend.
Yeah.
Cause like, it was just, I don't know. It was like you were like a proud mom.
Yeah.
Messaging.
Straight up.
I think you said that in the text as well. But like, Yasmin's always been like telling me like to get her on, and I was stupid. I didn't get her on, and now we're here. So.
How long has it been since your first episode? Has it been a year?
Yeah, 1 year and I don't know.
Okay.
August 9th. So whatever the day is today. What is the date today? Okay, August 16th.
Wow.
That's the day today. So yeah. But yeah, first thing.
Yeah, what? After your first episode, I remember I was like, "Wow, I've never seen this side of Umar."
Yeah, and I never saw that side of you. I'm like, since when were you so like appreciative and like loving? Yeah. I'm like, what the hell? But yeah, first thing I always talk about in these videos is how we met. So I know how we met. Let's see if you know.
I don't want to embarrass myself, but I think. Okay, let me think of the year. 2015.
No. That's wrong.
2016.
No.
There's no way it was before that.
It was 2017.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, it was.
It's off to a great start.
If you don't mind. I remember exactly what.
You do?
Yeah. Do you not?
No.
Okay, so
no
basically, Dina, who's my sister, for those who don't know, she has a guest episode, and Yasmin are like best friends. So back in 2017 when they were in grade 11, we had like a campfire thing at my house.
Yeah. And
then that's where I first met you.
Really?
Yeah. So I don't know why it was so late, because I met like
because I've been friends with her since 2015.
Yeah.
So it's been like that's really strange.
At least that's what I remember.
Okay.
Because like I don't remember anything else, but
you were a very like outgoing social guy back then.
What?
Yeah.
Really?
So you were always just out with your friends. Like I would barely see you, I think, at the time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
No. Yeah, that's why like all of the calendar year of 2016 we didn't meet, but yeah. I've always known Yasmin to be like a really awesome person. You're always like the type of person who's like down to do things.
Yeah.
And that's like literally like the best part about like hanging out with you.
I don't necessarily like think that I'm a very like outgoing person, or an extrovert. I think like it started with me because I was actually really shy. So I think it started with me just being afraid to say no to people, and then because I kept saying yes, then I just got used to it. So I was a big pushover at first.
Wait, so when do you like come out of your shell? When was that?
I would say grade 11.
Oh, so the year I met you.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Because I remember after like that first time we met, remember we started going to the gym in like that summer, and then every single hangout that you were at with Dina, I was at, and it was just like continued from there. But
I think we became closer though, and I got to see more of you way after that. Like probably until I started university. Like then you like really became part of our friend group and constantly hung around. Yeah, because that's when
you guys would all come to university to study, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, then I would join you guys. And then like I think during COVID after COVID, like 2020 and onwards, that's when like I started coming to all your guys' hangouts.
I think in general, even my friendship with like your sister and everyone else in our group became way closer starting COVID.
Yeah.
Quarantine really helped. The quarantine house party days.
Oh my god.
FaceTiming for hours and playing Call of Duty or Among Us.
Yo, I wasn't a part of that, but I was always sitting right behind Dina, and I heard everything.
Yeah.
So technically I was a part of it, but yeah, that's awesome. You know, I wanted to mention this before recording this. I wanted to mention this, that for those, like I've never said this to you like in person. We haven't talked in like how long? Like a couple months, right?
Yeah.
But like, Yasmin is like literally the type of person. So, the way you know that someone is a true friend or like truly loving person, is when they're there for you at your worst time. And if you remember earlier this year, when we had COVID, you were one of, I think, 2 people who actually like supported us. And you literally, so Yasmin brought us this like gigantic plate of food and stuff. Yeah.
For the first time, I cooked soup in my life. I had you guys try it.
Yeah, and it was absolutely amazing. Like, Iranian food is insane. But anyways, Yasmin was like one of 2 people who brought us food. And like, just knowing that like at one of our lowest points in our family, when like we were all struck with COVID, that someone's there to support us, like that, you have no idea what that means to us. Like, it means so much to us.
I understand that. It's because for my family, we honestly, other than my mother, brother, and dad, we don't have any family members here. Like, everyone is back home in Iran. I don't have aunts, uncles, grandparents, nothing here. So we only have family friends, which we meet over time. And then, so like, you guys are kind of like family friends, even though our families aren't really like interacting with parents.
Yeah, the parents aren't.
But, it feels like that to me.
Yeah, I agree as well, because it's literally the exact same situation with me. Like, we barely have family friends. Like, it's just we're like 2 in this whole city. So like,
sometimes friends are closer to you than even some family. Like I don't even talk to half my cousins back home.
Yes. But do you feel like, so that's something else that I was thinking of. I'm like, do you feel like your friends are like or do you feel like you're closer with your family or your friends, or like, how does it work? Like, what's the balance between the both of them?
I had this like argument with my parents a couple times, because I used to I went through different phases in my life where the rain is very... Do they hear the rain?
You know, I don't know.
I think it's adding a lot of mood to this.
Yeah, a lot of lo-fi. It's good.
The white noise.
Yeah.
I went through different phases in my life where sometimes I would just constantly only hang out with my family. And then there were times where, like right before COVID, it was always my family. I was kind of distant from all my friends. And I feel like at that point, it was just right to just be around family. And I didn't really feel like I could bond or feel close to other people. And then there were times where, in COVID, I would constantly be around friends. And my family kind of felt like I wasn't giving them much time. So I had different phases. But now I feel like I finally like balanced the 2. Especially because for my university, I go to a different city than Calgary. So I'm kind of living on my own, and I'm far away from family and friends. So now that way I've learned to balance the both. So.
Yeah. Because you're giving time away from both of them.
Yeah.
So it's like
I have to kind of split it, and like give time to both. But I feel like I can't compare the love I have for friends and family. Like, even though my friends are like family, the kind of love I have for, my parents and my brother, it's just not comparable.
Yeah, because they're really different.
Yeah.
One other thing I thought was cool is like this right here, and this just happened to be in my room, by the way. This right here, this is a Wonder Boom speaker. Yasmin gave this to Dina, and now we all use it. Like, our family uses it all the time for like, obviously, music, right? And then this mic is also, Yasmin bought it as well. It was like a group gift for Dina for singing. And now I use it for my podcast, so like...
Very convenient.
Yeah, it's like, isn't it cool how like your influence is here, you know?
Yeah.
Your friendship with Dina and with me is like present in this room as well.
There's something actually Dina doesn't know.
What?
There was a point in our friendship where I was like... It's weird. Within my friend group were 4 girls, including me. And there were different phases in my life where I was, like, even though we're a good, close group of friends, at certain months, you feel closer to one person. Because whether you're going through something and that person's there for you, and then the next month you're there for another one of your members, So it's But overall, as a group, you're all close within the same, you give the same energy back. But there was a point in my life, I remember, in 2018, I felt the closest to Dina. And I remember, like, there was a lot going on within high school, just stress and applying to university. And like just high school drama and a lot of ups and downs that I remember I went through the most with Dina. And I felt like at the time the one person that I really needed to like put in, like as if you were in a relationship with someone and you need to put in effort to keep that person in your life because you don't want to lose them. I remember I was at that phase with Dina, and so I really I felt like as if I'm kind of dating her and I need to put in a lot of effort. So when it came to birthdays, when it came to just being there for her, I really went I went overboard.
Yeah. No, you guys have a trend of doing that all the time, which is awesome. And my friends who are watching, you guys don't do that. Like, we don't do that at all. It's crazy. Guys are just like that. I don't know.
Yeah. That's kind of sad. 'Cause I compare some of my guy friends that I have, and I see their friendship, and they act like they're really close and stuff. But then there's things that they don't connect emotionally. They don't have the same I don't know, intimate, even though their interests are all really similar and they bond really well, way more than girls do over sports and activities and things like that.
Yeah.
But I feel like girls really it feels like family.
Yeah. It feels more like family for girls than guys. Yeah. I think that's true. I don't know. It's like that whole stigma that I'm so super against, and that's why I do this podcast. Guys expressing their emotions, because that's something that men don't do. Yeah.
They don't cry. They don't at all like to show any emotion.
Yeah, and I hate that.
A lot of people in relationships say, "Oh, is it a big turn off for a guy to cry in front of you or show emotion?" I think that's actually one of the biggest things, if it comes from a guy. I think it's
biggest what?
Biggest
good
plus. Yeah.
I thought you were saying. Okay, yeah.
I don't know, if a guy can show emotion and he shows his soft, sensitive side to you, I think that's a huge turn on.
Yeah. Because it's stupid how they're just oh.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna
the masculinity.
Oh yeah, screw that. But yeah, that's awesome. Literally just completely. This is something else I wanted to talk about. Literally in this episode, I'm not how I normally do with a phone going on a list. It's just completely off the top of my head. Yeah, just a normal time with us talking to each other.
Yeah.
So what I want to talk with you about, right, is your TikTok. So yeah, you do an amazing you're an amazing dancer.
Thank you.
Me and my family always talk about it. My mom's always how does she dance like that? How do you do those crazy?
The belly dancing.
Yeah. So it's so I have a lot of respect. Okay.
Thank you.
Because to put yourself out like that, it's you have to be really courageous, and it's not easy.
Yeah.
Posting yourself dancing.
Yeah.
And it's a good thing, but I wanted to know, how do you how do you do that? How do you have that courage to put yourself out there like that?
So.
Is it a passion thing or what?
When I was younger, a lot of people don't know this. You know how as a kid you always have a not a hobby, but something when you grow older, I want to be this person. I want to have this job. Mm-hmm. I always wanted to be an actress. It was my number one thing. I always wanted to be an actress. Mm-hmm. I would print after watching a certain TV show or movie, I would literally search up the PDF script, and I would sit in front of my mirror, and I would act as the character I wanted to be, and then I would film myself. So I've been into content creating for a long time, but at the time I had braces and a unibrow, so I never posted any of those. But I always had passion for it. Then I got into Bollywood a lot, and I actually picked up my language skills are really improved because of that. I got into Bollywood, and then I started watching so many movies and listening to the songs that I picked up on Hindi without ever having any Indian friends whatsoever. Really? Yeah. So right now when my brown friends talk in Urdu and Hindi, which are really similar, I completely understand and I can talk back. So if I ever get dropped in Mumbai, I can figure my way out.
I never knew that.
Yeah. So I got into Bollywood, and for those who don't know, the difference between Hollywood and Bollywood is that Bollywood is kind of Broadway type of movies where they include randomly a dance singing scene. So
yeah, okay.
Then I had to improve my dancing skills because I was you know what, one day I'm gonna make it to Bollywood.
Oh.
Even though I'm super whitewashed to be into Bollywood.
Okay.
So then I started dancing, and Persians in general are very if you even my dad, he's very like flexible with his body because they've been dancing like since you're a kid. You go to Persian parties, everyone just drags you on the dance floor. Like all the aunties are like, no, you gotta dance. Yeah, so you kind of have to like pick up on the movements. So as a kid, I used to put on headphones when my parents went to sleep and just sit in front of my mirror and just practice dancing and reading scripts. And because of that, it really like helped my confidence in front of a camera. And then when TikTok became a thing, I was like, hey, I never got to make it to YouTube. I never got to follow my dreams at all. So I was like, you know what? Why not? It's quarantine, free time. Why not just make videos? So it was really easy. It came natural.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, what the heck? That's like that makes it so much better than I already thought it was. Cause like there's a whole backstory now. Yeah.
So if I get anywhere with TikTok, I'd be happy. But honestly, I just really enjoy it. Every video I post, I think I'm the first 15 views are just coming from me. Because I keep watching my own videos over and over, and I'm just like, wow, I'm glad I posted this.
Yeah.
Not to be at all like cocky or anything.
No, I honestly I'm kind of the same way with these. Like, I understand. That's kind of like a creator thing. Like,
you like to reflect back on what you did.
Yeah. And like, did you ever feel like? So for me, this is like something for me, and I know for some other creators. Do you ever feel like you hate your work? Like your videos?
I'm a big like perfecter, and like I film so many times over and over until I find one good one. I'm like that with photos too. When I'm about to post anything on Instagram, I also have a fashion account that I post that no one from my school follows. Like I created that fashion account because I'm also into like just influencing in general. So I didn't want any like connections to bring me down at all, or any hate comments or any judgment from anyone I know, whether it's family, whether it's people that I went to school with. So I'm a big perfecter. I would like take hundreds of photos to take one good one out of it.
Yeah. I don't know about the fashion account.
Yeah.
Are you gonna share it or no?
Yasmin Dana, maybe possibly linked below.
Okay, yeah, I'll link it below, and I'll link Yasmin's TikTok and everything below, all the information. Yeah. Forgot to mention that, but that's awesome. Did you ever feel like was there ever a point where you really like when was the point that like you stopped? Because to post like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And to make any form of content creation, there has to be a point where you stop caring what people think. Did that come for you, and when?
Yeah. I posted one belly dancing video, which I think it's my #1 pinned if you guys at all go on my page. And I really I just did my own dance. There was no usually for TikTok dances, for those who don't have TikTok, someone starts a trend and then everyone else under that sound follows that trend and dance. So the first person who started it is the dance creator.
Yeah.
And they are the ones that are original. So one of the belly dancing songs, I just kind of danced the way I thought that would go with the music, and then it became my #1 hit. And then since then, I got so many, because TikTok has analytics where it shows which countries view you.
Uh-huh.
So I would, because of the belly dancing, it would say Saudi Arabia, Germany, United Kingdom, US. So I started getting people outside of Canada all viewing it. And then, but the thing is, with dancing in general, especially girls dancing, especially belly dancing, it's a really controversial thought because some people view it very exotic. And obviously there are men out there that like to view that more than females. So the analytics would automatically show more percentage of men versus females. But all the men were supportive. And it really didn't count because then all the haters would just be females. So from that video, I realized the comments, a lot of the hate comments, I was like, you made it when you get a lot of hate comments.
Yeah.
So I honestly really didn't care. None of it got to me. If anything, I would go and show people hey, read this comment. It's really funny to me. So since then, I was like, if this is the worst it gets, it doesn't really matter. Yeah.
Yeah. No.
How about you? Do you have any? Has there been not support coming for your podcast, or people that are hey, why did you say this?
Yeah. There's been it's been passive aggressive in like DMs, and it's never been like, which is weird because I would expect it to be like anonymous.
Mhm.
There have been some like anonymous people who like weirdly message me, and there have been like some passive aggressive things, but it's never been like that where it's like straight up someone
Hate.
comments like hate. Yeah. It's never been
Especially
like that.
if it's hate on your like body or like the way you're
Yeah,
doing things.
Yeah, because that's probably the worst. Like for me, it's words. I don't really talk. I don't really like do anything with my body here.
Right.
Can't even see my legs in all the videos
Yeah.
except this one. But like, yeah, for like your body being in it, that's like when someone insults your body, it's like that's like one of the worst feelings, you know.
I have so much respect for people who are actually famous out there because I realize that you have to grow up way quicker and mentally just train yourself so much to accept who you are, accept the way you are, the body you have, and that any negative comments comes, you just continue to do what you do and never like stop because of other people's words. So like I have so much respect for people now. After you do it and you receive it, then you know.
Yeah. We're kind of getting like the small version of like that
Huge thing.
Yeah.
People have like accounts made for them and like posts like you know, like there's so many like scammers out there that pretend to be you. Like there's so much goes on with celebrities. And
has been like a fan account for you yet?
No. Thankfully not. No. I mean, if it's a fan account, I wouldn't mind, but
yeah.
If it's a hate account, then it's a different story. It does definitely take a toll on you. Yeah.
What's like your most viewed video? Like what's like the number? I don't know. I haven't looked.
I would say I could be really wrong, but almost 500,000.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
That was my biggest one.
Yeah.
Which is nothing compared to like TikTok. How people like just post like a 20-second video of them like, I don't know, blowing a candle and then it gets 1 million. Like.
No, I mean like this is like, because that's like random, right? This is like one topic that you're consistently doing, right? Like belly dancing continuously. So it's like, that's harder.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's I don't know, that's just cool because I don't know many people who like also content create. Like I know me, you, and like, I don't know, like 4 other people probably. So like, I don't know, it's always cool to get in the heads of creators. I don't know, that's just my type of thing.
But especially in a smaller city like Calgary, it's way harder, I feel like, to be a content creator and put yourself out there because word spreads around quicker. You everyone like talks about you. There's more judgment that you come across than you hear, or even like support. Like it's way like easier for you to come across like support from random people here. Whereas if you lived in LA, for example, like you're just amongst, you know, the billion of content creators there.
Yeah. So do you think it's better here? It's better to be here or better to be there?
I think it has its pros and cons in both places, but I feel like to grow, you would have to be in a city where you can like relate with other people.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, that's interesting. That's all. I don't know. That's my version of getting into your TikTok content creation. But now some like, I don't know, some like personal questions that I was thinking of. Like, I don't know. I've never really like I know you and I've known you for years, right? It's been like 5.5 years, but I never really like known like what's your like way of like getting like chilling and like what do you do to like relax? I don't know. It's a weird question. I'm just like it's kind of cool to like see what people's like personal therapy is, you know?
Yeah. So I'm a person that I really like my alone time, just sitting in my own bed in my room, just all by myself. I really enjoy my alone time. I like just, I don't know, being comfortable, eating snacks, and just putting on a Netflix show. And I've always been that person that could binge watch like shows over and over again for hours and I wouldn't get tired, or read a book over for hours and I wouldn't get tired. But then since COVID, that has changed a lot because my social skills have really increased and I have quite a bit of people around me that I need to give the time to. And I've been more appreciative of living in the moment rather than just on my phone or just watching, like wasting my time watching a show. So now I prefer just working on myself, whether that's making a TikTok, whether that's just something that makes me feel good about myself. Honestly, sitting around in the living room with my family and just talking about whatever it is, that makes me feel good. That puts me at ease. Like it calms my brain down. Or working out. which has happened really recent, I think 3 months now. And
Wow.
yeah, consistently 3 months now. And that really, like, if you're mentally just really drained, or if you're like had a really hard day, emotionally especially, physically draining yourself helps a lot. It lets out everything.
Endorphins.
Yeah, because you get so tired at the end, and at the end you're gaining something, muscle.
Literally gaining. Yeah.
Gaining. And you just feel healthier in general. And emotionally, everything, all the pain you were feeling is gone.
I agree so much.
Yeah.
Holy crap, yeah. I also started exercising recently, because, yeah, I remember Dina was talking about, like, oh, Yasmin got a membership, I want one too, and then she ended up getting one.
Yeah.
And then, like, yeah, so, like, then I'm like, okay, me too.
Yeah.
Because, like, I don't know, I started working, and then there's a gym, like, right beside, like, literally in the building I work in.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, I started going there, and, like, dude, that changes everything.
And once you
like,
get into the routine, like, you don't feel, for those of you who've not gone to the gym or you don't go consistently, and I know how you feel because you probably really hate working out. You think it's the worst thing. You hate that you're putting your body through pain, and then you don't continue going. Especially if you go for one day and you get so sore for like a week straight, you don't want to go again.
mm-hmm.
And I was that person too. But then I realized you learn so much about your body. Like for me, I worked out and then I would get really sore. But if I go work out again after 2 days of a break, the same exercise, my body won't be sore again. So the fact that I'm training again the same thing I did, it adapts way quicker. So then I enjoy it now because I'm seeing the results, which makes you feel really good about yourself.
Yeah.
And so overall, it's just a good thing. I say, for those of you who are hesitant on, especially girls who are hesitant on going to the gym because they don't know how to work out, especially when there's a lot of guys in the gym, I would say put yourself out there. Just go for it. Don't really care what people think. Yeah.
And there's also like those, you know, her gym.
Yeah.
That's like I don't know, I can't, like, being a girl and, like, I don't know, there's like more of like a male thing where like men stare at women more than women stare at men. I have a video about that. It's you can go find it. I forgot the name, but yeah, that's a problem that women have. But there's stuff like women's gyms, which, like, that's like the ultimate thing. And if I was a girl, I would totally go to that.
Yeah.
And it's just like,
because men sexualize a lot.
yeah, especially in a gym.
Yeah.
Because girls are like squatting and stuff.
Yeah. And the other thing is, men are automatically, like, this is just human nature, that they're physically stronger overall. They're built different. So the fact that
built different.
the fact that they know what they're doing at the gym kind of brings your confidence down because they're judging the way you do certain things. And
yeah, they see you doing something wrong.
Yeah.
You feel like you're less than them.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And the fact that, like, they're putting on so much more weight and you can't at all reach to their level, it, like, brings your confidence down. But in all honesty, now that I go to the gym, if anyone looks, I think they're just looking for me to finish in the machine so they can use it. You know, now I have no thoughts whatsoever that they're looking at me a certain type of way or that they're judging how I do things. Since you've been asking all the questions, I want to know, have you ever dealt with depression or anxiety? Like, have you ever been the type of person that, because I'm not trying to like bring up any controversial topic, but I feel like with, like, I don't know, with high school that I went to, it was a common thing for a lot of kids in my year that a lot of people were dealing with things mentally within their family. Just, they didn't know how to emotionally deal with things. So they would rely on, I don't know, vaping. They would rely on smoking. They would rely on just partying constantly. And it built up their anxiety and depression even more. So is that something that was common in your grade or that you dealt with?
You know, I haven't gone through depression, I don't think, because that's like kind of like a clinical thing, I feel like.
Yeah.
But like, I've been depressed, in like a depressed state, sad state, and I'm pretty much always anxious, but I've never done it, like, I've never been around the group of people where it's like smoking or like drinking the pain away.
Mm-hmm.
I'm always like about, you know, love first with my family and stuff.
Yeah.
But I feel like depression is like something that I haven't felt in like months, like since like earlier this year. That's the last time. But anxiety is like pretty much all the time. Like, not like physical anxiety, like to the point where it's like breathing and like panting really hard. Yeah, but like just like about the future, because it's always like you see other people, like where I work, there's really like kids with medical student bags walking around, and I'm just like, oh, dude, I have to do all that work to get there, and it's just like a huge cycle of like, you know, what do I do to get there? How do I do this? That completely messes with my mind. But the way I deal with that is just like focusing on the moment. It's something that you said earlier. You're like, oh, I love like to live in the moment now instead of being on my phone. Living in the moment and like focusing on today and like tomorrow, just today and tomorrow, not next week, not next month. That helps me. But like, yeah. What about you for that?
I think to some extent the stress that you feel, the nervousness, the stress, the overthinking, shows that you care. So I feel like, to some extent, obviously not to the point that you're like, it's, I don't know, you're getting bad grades and like you are putting your friends and family down, not to that point, but just the stress and anxiety shows you care, and it kind of makes you always like fight, kind of makes you just always get back on your feet and want to do more. That the fact that you worry about the future is like, I need to accomplish these things, so what am I going to do to accomplish these things? It makes you set goals to get to that point. So I feel like it's, to some extent, it's healthy, but
yeah.
Overall, I've never dealt with depression ever,
Really?
clinically, or like I have sad moments. I grieve a lot, but I've never felt depression. And anxiety, honestly, I know there's a lot of people that go through anxiety and they just like have to leave class, for example, to calm themselves down or whatever the case is. For me, not until very recently, dealing with a relationship, like relationship issues that I didn't know how to handle, or situations that came up that I was at a really low point, especially when I moved away to a different city all by myself. I got to a really low point where I didn't know, like I was all by myself. Even if I reached out to my family, I feel like I would put a worry on them that I'm far away, they can't do anything. Like they can't just drive there and come and like help me.
Yeah.
Same with friends. Like the most they can do is give me a call and just worry about me. But the fact that I felt like I would bring them down, being far away, that they can't really help me, I had to learn somehow to cope with it myself. So I would just, distraction for me helped. Making new friends and really, really like putting myself out there in an excessive way, like seeking for friends in a really desperate way, kind of helped me. So I don't know if I recommend it to most people, but I feel like step outside of your boundaries if you feel like your hands are empty.
Dude, tattoo that on your chest or something. That's insane. I need to like replay this and listen to that again. Oh my god.
Yeah.
That last line was insane. What'd you say? Can you say it again?
No, now I forgot it. I can try.
I'm literally mind blown. That was insane, Yasmin.
I just feel like you should always, like, when you feel like you're at a really low point and you're bringing other people down with you, and you don't want to, especially people you care about, you don't want to, like, make them worry about you. I felt like I was alone in an apartment, just on the ground, literally sobbing at one point, and I couldn't reach out to anyone, and I didn't want to worry any of my family and friends. And I had no friends in that city. Like, it was a really low point in my life, okay?
Sorry.
So I feel like the next day I woke up, I hit up one of my friends and I was like, hey, take me out with you. And I literally acted so depressed and like desperate for friends. And I was like just going up to people and I'm like, hey, trying to make conversation. So step outside your boundaries if you feel like your hands are empty.
Yes,
genuinely.
that's the line.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's such a good that's such a good piece of advice, because it actually is so true.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
There's always more you can do. Don't rely on drugs. Don't rely on like temporary things. Rely on something that will last in your life forever. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. And like something intangible in you yourself that you can repeat, but that's not like drugs or something like physical that like brings you down and like you said, brings other people down with you.
Yeah.
That's so true. But yeah, I have. That was a good discussion on anxiety and depression. That's interesting.
Yeah,
Like,
I wanted to hear your input on it.
What was I saying? Okay. This is something that I don't know. I feel like since you've been speaking so far, you have like a good idea on like women and like your like society and like your views and everything. I love them. So I just wanted to ask, what do you think is like the biggest problem you feel like in society? Like what is the biggest issue that there is?
That's such a tough question.
Yeah, one that like impacts you, if you can think of one.
Like an issue going on in the world that impacts me?
Yeah. Or like in your life, anything.
That's tough because I can name so many things. I feel like I'm not gonna really get into because the things I'm thinking about are like a mix of social, cultural, and politics. So I'm gonna leave the politics and all that on the side.
Yeah,
it's a discussion I don't want to get into.
Yeah.
But I feel like one that emotionally impacts me would be the fact that in our generation, no offense, but we really do not know how to deal with. We're maturing really slowly. Comparing to our parents and everything, we're way behind. Academically, we're way behind. Just social skills, we're way behind. Like my parents, for example, my mom got married she got engaged at 20 and had me at 23. My dad had me at 27, was married by 23. So, like, overall, I feel like the fact that I'm 22 and I'm nowhere near anywhere they are, it really, like, stresses me out. And the fact that I feel like I have to, like, for example, Kylie Jenner became a billionaire at what, 20?
Something like that. Something crazy.
So, like, there's so much, I feel like in our generation, there's so much pressure on having to always just, like, mature and be better and accomplish way more than what you're capable of. And I do think we're capable of it, but I feel like the social stress and the comparison that we have, especially with social media, how we come across so many accomplishments of other people, whether they, like, I come across people from my high school that are all getting married, and then I'm like, I'm really behind on that. People are already having kids, and I'm way behind on that. I compare that, people graduated, and I have, like, 2 more years to go. I'm way behind on that. And it's just always, like, competition, and it's always, like, comparison over comparison. And I feel like back then, when there was no technology and there was no, like, everyone was at the same stage of their life. Everyone was going through the same thing. It was just easier. But right now, because of the social pressure and the whole, like, social media being a thing, it's a huge impact in my life. I constantly compare myself, and it brings down insecurities in you. It brings down your confidence, and then because of those things being down, you step back on school stuff. You step back on work stuff. Maybe, I don't know, it takes a toll on your relationship. So then it always takes 10 times longer for us to get there versus our parents. So that's one of those things. Comparison, I guess. What about you?
No, that you explained that so well.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I also agree because I'm like on almost like I think like half of my videos I mention how I hate social media. And like, yeah, I agree because like back then it's like you said, they were all going through those things, but none of like they didn't know about it to the extent that we do now. And that's so bad because like it's such a natural, like we've been going through this, like how long have you had social media for? Probably like 10 years, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. Like this is like something that's been like put into us for the last 10 years, and like every day it's like something that we think about, right? So you have to try to rewire yourself for the last 10 years and like try to undo all that like thinking that like whole comparison thing, which I totally agree on because like I literally talked about it earlier. Like I see like med school students and it stresses me out and like that type of stuff. And like, yeah, I agree. The whole marriage thing, like, yeah, I'm like, even though I'm like still 19, right? And like, oh, in this society, people don't get married at 19. It's still like, come on. Like, yeah, look at the parents thing too. It's kind of like I feel like might be an immigrants thing. I'm not sure about like second generation Canadians, how your parents are. but like our parents, like brown parents, all got married in like their early 20s and stuff, and they had kids really early, and it's just like society's changing, and like the social media thing is so bad, but there's also like some pluses. I don't know. Complete, like, it stresses me out so much.
Yeah, I feel like it's like a set timeline that we have to follow. Like, I always had this. I don't know if everyone else is like this, but I was like, you know what? Right now I'm 22, so I want to date someone for at least like 3-4 years, so I get to know them, and then I want to be like engaged by 24, 25.
The timeline.
Yeah. And then I want to be married within a year, and then I want to have kids after 2 years, and then I want to be able to travel to 5 different countries after that. Like, it's crazy, the fact that there is no timeline you can follow. You can set goals for yourself and just work towards one goal at a time, but if you set so many things for yourself to accomplish, you're never going to get to them. And you're never gonna, even if you do get to them, it's never gonna be the way you wanted it to.
Yeah. Honestly, just like, that's so true. Screw the time. Just focus on the goals in themselves.
Yeah.
They'll come whenever they come, and what's meant to be is meant to be. Whatever the hell that cliche quote is, but yeah.
Do you believe
that's
in?
So true.
Do you believe in that? Everything happens for a reason.
Yeah.
Everything.
For sure. Yeah. Everything, and I believe in like fate and all that stuff.
Do you believe in
like,
soulmates?
I don't know.
Is that one thing that you're just like, I've never experienced it, so like it's not like something that I can.
Yeah, I don't think so. Like I can't really like imagine that would be something that's real, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. We'll have to see. The future me will answer this question.
Maybe one day your wife would be sitting here.
Yeah. I'll put it in the comments in 2045. But yeah.
I want to be 45 at that time. Holy.
Oh, 2000s kids, man. You guys always
flex. Elite.
I hate how you guys always flex your stupid birthday, and you're like, oh, just subtract the year from 2000, whatever the hell.
No, if I ever get like dementia and I forget how old I am, then like if I just look at the year, that's how old I am. That's just how
But you have dementia. You're gonna forget what year you were born in.
I guess. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I was actually wanting to ask you,
mm-hmm.
If you were in a relationship, would you want it to be the same way that your parents are? Like, are there things that like some people are like, I want a marriage that's exactly like my parents. Are you that kind of person?
No, because I feel like I've already seen it,
and
like I want something different, and like I want to have like my own, because I have my own way of doing things, right? I'm different. I'm kind of a different type of lover than my parents, I feel like. Like I'm not, like I'm kind of a mix between both of them, and it's just I have my own way of doing things and expressing that love.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's more similar to my mom's, but like I still want like, it's just like relationships have to be natural. Like you can't force it. You just have to do, like, you gotta find that person whenever you find them. And it's just like, it's the goal thing, right? No timing. Screw the timing. Focus on the goal. The goal is just find that person. Once you feel that energy and it matches, and then you both get what you want, what you need, that's perfect. Like, I don't know. I don't really know how to describe it. It's kind of like a hard thing to think about, because it's like that whole, it's something that I'm really like anxious about, you know, like, because we talked about that, like the whole marriage thing. It's like, especially in our culture, it's like something that's kind of like the biggest thing of your entire life.
Yeah.
Like the biggest day choice.
Purpose of your life is love.
Yeah. So it's tough. But what do you think? Do you want yours to be the same?
No. I think it's the same thing, because I've witnessed it. Like, overall, the love they have for each other, yeah, of course, I want someone that looks at me the way my dad looks like my mom. But I think that overall marriage, I wouldn't want it to be the exact same. However, I think the way they raised or were parents, I would want to be parents like them. Like, the things my mom carries, I want those traits in me. And the things my dad carries, as a father, I want my husband to have that. So.
Well, they already did a good job, bro. Like you're all set.
Same with yours.
Thanks. But yeah.
Shout out to our parents.
Yeah, if you guys are watching, which probably are. But yeah. Another question. This is the other question I had.
Yeah.
So I always ask this to every single guest. But since we just talked about the whole, passion thing with your whole belly dancing thing, the TikTok, the music, school, the marriage thing, where do you see yourself? I know we talked about the timing. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? I hate to bring up the
5 years. Damn. Hopefully, I am married. Hopefully, I would graduate by that time for sure. Hopefully, I really want to work for a big programming company. So, hopefully a good stable job, and everyone within my family is healthy and safe and good and really close by. Just driving distance.
Yeah.
And I really want to live somewhere hot. So.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Out of Calgary?
I mean, preferably, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
So you're gonna leave us?
Who knows what happens in 5 years?
Honestly, that's true. Like
Yeah.
it's a I don't know. The question's just kind of ask that just so in the actual 5 years we can watch again. Yeah.
Reflect on my
And
22-year-old self.
Yeah. But yeah, you have any other things?
No, but this was really fun.
Yeah.
I actually really enjoyed it.
Me too. Yeah, thank you so much for coming on. I forgot to say that at the start. Oh my god.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. Yasmin, thank you so much. I'm happy to have you, by the way.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
Yeah. I hope you guys enjoyed. Go check out Yasmin's stuff in the description. And yeah. You got any closing remarks? Or what?
I'll end it with some positive affirmations. I like to just remind people that, especially if you're our age group, even though we're 3 years apart, just know that you're not alone. If you're stressed for back to school, because I know I'm going back to school within literally 2 weeks, everyone else is on the same boat as you. Don't feel stressed. Don't feel like you're behind. Focus on what your end goal is and just drive to that. And yeah, just stay safe and have a good rest of your summer.
Yeah. Thank you. So, that was awesome. That was the 26th episode. Thank you for watching.
Bye.
Bye.